Welcome everyone. This is Mr. Visual. Welcome back again to our channel. In today's video, we will be introducing a new feature that we haven't been covering in our videos. It's all about energy analysis of ArchiCAD. I'm sure you are familiar that ArchiCAD is able to carry out energy simulations. But for you to, in order to carry out energy simulations, you have to model well. You have to get to know your materials. You have to input data. It's called beam. You have to model really well. And then the energy simulation dimension is 6D, where it's all about sustainable design. So for you to participate in the energy certification and efficient buildings, you get to know about beam. It's all about energy modeling. It's BEM, building energy modeling. So in this project, I'll show you just how to guide an introduction to or how ArchiCAD is able to do energy simulations. So first things first, it's just a quick introduction. I'll just demonstrate a few things. So for you to model, you have to define quite a lot in your model. Your MEPs, you have to define them. You have to really model well. So this model is available for download for you guys to always practice. Like as usual, I'll keep this video as educational as possible. So the key learnings of this today's project is all about learning the basis of energy analysis and ArchiCAD, and then just play around with settings needed for you to perform the energy analysis. So in ArchiCAD, we are lucky to have an inbuilt software plugin and add-on as a EcoDesigner. EcoDesigner has its own pros and cons, but I'll show you guys a few things. You have to clear this, all of this. Let me clear all of this for us to get started. It's a how to guide, I guess. It's just a how to guide. Let's just get started. And a few. Yes. So, like I said, energy modeling is just basically a process used to estimate, the possible energy expenditure of buildings. So we're going to see how this building performs. Not really, we won't be accurate, but because we don't have the data from ArchiCAD standards, and you have to have basic standards. You have to know. So this is just for collaboration means you can help energy specialists with ArchiCAD. So BEAM is all about collaboration. This data that you're going to extract can be shared to experts as well. So EcoDesigner allows the designer to simulate thermal performance. We're going to simulate quite a few things, thermal performance, and then you're going to add locations to where this project is. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started. So where you're going to go is design, energy simulation, right? Because our MIM systems are already defined. Make sure these ones are already defined. Okay, let's make sure this one's already defined. The hot water supplies, everything, it's all defined in this MEP project. So for you to get to any simulation, you have to define a few steps. Alright, so here's the workflow. Let's get started. Yes, this is where you find thermal blocks. We're going to define thermal blocks, and then this will be automated using zones. So you're going to import zones here. Remember, our zones, we have our zones here. I'll show you just now. Zones, you have to have, this was blending, remember views, architectural. Go to architectural for you to see the zones that we have. These are the zones we have. Dining, living room. These are the zones that will be defining spaces. Let me do this one real quick. me define this one real quick. That's an in-suite bathroom. I don't know why I didn't prepare for this one. Just real quick, guys. For you guys to perform this energy simulation, you have to define zones of your rooms. You have to define zones of your rooms. Delete this one. This is an in-suite. This is room 6. And then copy this one. This is a storeroom. This is a storeroom. Store. Room 7. And then make sure it's defined. Make sure it's defined. Corner to corner. Corner to corner. And then we have a toilet here. Just a matter of playing around with zones, guys. If you remember, you can use quite a lot with zones. You could achieve quite a lot with zones if they are well defined. That's basically the step. The first step is to define your zones, because the zones are going to help you extract quite a lot of data. The thermal structures of this, let's say, defined room. Zones are going to help you with that. Okay, guys, I hope you're following suit. Sorry for taking long in the video. I could have literally jumped into, what's this, a bathroom. Yes, I think now they are defined. Oh, a passage. You have to have a passage here, guys. You have to have a passage here. Excuse me. It's a passage. Yes, awesome. That was the last. I just it's 8, but it's what, not 8, 9? Oh, it's 10. Or let me just leave it blank. Okay, I think we defined our rooms now. Oh, here you have the porch, the entry porch. You have to define it too, because it's very important. Entry porch. Awesome. So now let's select our zones. Let's see if they are defined in 3D, because they have to be in 3D. So select one little magic wand, and then yes, here are our zones. This is starting to build up into an energy model. So we have to insert data now into our energy model. How do we do that? For example, let's start by going to, operational profiles. Let's start with that, and then feed in information such as orientation of the building, wind directions, solar absorption, shading, stuff like that, like U values. Let's start with that, because ArchiCAD allows for that. operation profile is all about occupancy behavior of the house, of whatever this is. This is a residential house, so this may cause, you need to inform the eco-design. You need to inform this, your coding. So occupation type is what? This is a residential, right? Yes, it's residential. It's residential. So residential, what do we have? We feed in data. This is standard data that you find. This because EcoDesigner collaborated with Sistro through software, so it's an inbuilt accurate data, like with ArchiCAD standards as well. Okay, so what you do, you punch in, you can edit daily schedules of your house, maximum temperature. You can, these are standards of the occupancy behavior of a residential house. Okay, and then what you do, so this residential house, let's say 25, it's a 3-bedroom house, it's not a big house. And then the lighting of the house, define it, is it incandescent, fluorescent, composite, so you can define it here. Then equipment power, there's a lot of equipment, is there a little equipment, no. So yeah, you punch in, you feed in this occupancy behavior, occupancy type of the house. That's where the starting point. And then climate data. Climate data, like I said, it's climate. The circuit EcoDesigner has partnered with Microsoft. You could initially use the information that's here. Okay, so what's the climate type of this area of the house? This is just a dry place, I would say. And then if you already have it as standard, you can download it and then put it. But no, like I said, I'd use a server, information from the server. Okay, and then building systems, this one I like to go to it after I populate with the zones, the structures, the building, the small blocks. After we'll come back here, we'll define it after we, yes. Okay, let's detail this real quick. Energy cost, this are in currencies, BWP, and then you can use USD, you can use CAD, you can use Australian dollar, you can type here. So this is how our environmental. Did I finish it up? Yes, I did. Oh yes, I didn't define the soil type of the area. Let's just sand. You could use transfer. The transitions you need to know. You need to know this. You need to then work with an energy specialist. Surroundings of this house, surroundings. Is it a garden? Gardens help in terms of energy transfers and stuff like that. Is it paved? This is paved, so I think you'll see here the ground reflectance, garden 20. You see this waterfront 50. So that's things. It's really important. And then window protection. Are your windows protected? No, they're not protected. Unprotected. At least unprotected. But because this house is in a boundary, it's, I would say partially protected, but no, it's just unprotected. There are no shades, there are nothing. For my windows, they're just facing the sun. They're just facing, yeah. And then horizontal shading, there's none shading. You see, such things you're defining. You're defining, and then you're coding, and then you're going to analyze the data that you've put. That's basically an introduction to any simulations. What else have I forgotten? Project location. I can project location, guys. It's very important. You need to know your north, your latitude. You need to know where the project is. You can show this in Google Maps. Time zone. Just put your any place that you are from. Any place that you are from. Tripoli, wherever you see your city here. Shout out to your city. Shout out to your city. You could do this, but I think a lot of people are going to miss. That cities won't be here, so you could use a time zone that is close to or nearest to your location, or something like that. And then you can edit. You can put a project description on your report. This is project maintenance status. This is for energy simulations. Energy simulation. Yes, project number 2021. Project code, stuff like that. Yeah. And then I think we are always number 90 north. Okay. I think we are good to go now. I think we are good to go to now defining our thermal blocks, where the hardware is. What the hardware is. Delete thermal blocks you find, then you create your own thermal blocks. Okay, guys. So thermal blocks, that's how you create thermal blocks. Remember the zones we created? Yes. Right now, there's nothing. We haven't defined thermal blocks. Alright. So let's define a new thermal block. This one I'll call it what? Remember our zones? Update zones. Let's bring our zones here. There are no zones here. Update all zones. These are the zones we're going to use. Update them so you can help you define your thermal blocks real quick. You saw what I did? I updated zones, and then this palette came off, and then I updated all zones. So we're starting with 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9. Remember? Okay. Let's do that real quick. First thermal block, I'll name it leaving. Leaving and dining. That's an open place. It's an open plan design. Let me define the occupancy of this house. What's going on? Okay, occupancy behavior of the zone. What is it? You find it's a residential, but it can be defined in intricate level. Like you could choose if there's a bathroom, if there's a what do I need? So you see that there's no dining or kitchen, so I'll just go to a restaurant. I'll use restaurant. I'll use residential. Sorry. So this living, this occupancy, this living dining is a residential. So let me create a zone for it. I'm adding zone to the thermal block, right? What does that? This one. I'm assigning it to this. So it's all about that. You create a thermal block and then you assign a zone to it. That's only the method. I know. That's it. I think it's the easiest method. And then we're looking for room 2 as a kitchen. We're going to do the same. We find a kitchen, occupancy behavior of the zone that you selected, kitchen, and then we are creating assigning a thermal block to it. After you're assigning a zone to that thermal block you created, creating a new thermal block. Room 3, what's room 3? That's the bedroom 1. You know what? Let me update this bedroom zones. Bedroom 1. Okay, so that I can know which bedroom 1 to it is. So let me just do that real quick. you go to plan bedroom 1, bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3. There's a master bed. I'd say master bed, master bedroom. So I'll update my zones and update. Yes, it did. So I go back to 3D to an energy model. You see, I started populating my energy model with zones. Do you see? With already blocks I've created. That's the energy model, guys. Okay. Building bedroom 1. Bedroom. You find the bedroom, and then you assign that zone to the block you created. Okay. It's all about that. It's all about that in the energy model. Bedroom 2. You assign it. Bedroom. Occupancy behavior the zone of bedroom 2. It's a bedroom. That's basically it. So we know in the occupants in the bedroom we sleep. So the zone has to know. Bedroom 2. And then master bed. Bedroom. Master bedroom. What do we do in the master bedroom? We sleep. And assign master bed. And create. Populating, guys. Populating. It's a process. It takes time, but you need to really, if you want accurate information, you need to insert. What's happening in the insert? Bathroom. There's no bathroom. There's no bathroom. Just say residential. Residential insert. And what do we have? Insert. After insert is what? 7. Room 7. Storeroom. 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 So storeroom, yeah. Storeroom. Oh, I see toilet. There's no toilet here. Toilet instance non-residential. It has to be residential. So I go to residential. I see. I'm almost done with demo blocks, guys. This is the process that takes time, but I'm almost done. I'm almost done. One more, I think. Room 8, room 9, bathroom. So right now. Bathroom, residential. Define bathroom. And then I'm doing one more. No, not really one more, but the passage. Passage is residential. Passage. Now, one last one. Entry porch. That was supposed to be the first one. I don't know what happened. Entry porch. This is supposed to be my first. But I didn't do that. Entry porch. Yes. Updating my thermal blocks. These are going to help in terms of defining room data. And then I update all my zones for me to have structures and openings. So this is my energy model there. This is where I'm going to start defining what you call U values of this U values and thermal transmissions of materials of the rooms that we're defining the stemmer blocks, these rooms as well. Okay, guys, and then you could play around with the show and covered. Yes. You can play around with your model. You see your energy model. Okay, guys, so structures, the materials, and the living room, that wall. You see that wall? You see that wall? Those walls you have. Now that's where you could define things like U values and solar absorption things. That's where the data comes from. Like, let's say you have accurate data of this material. On this material, and the thickness is 230. The material is brickwork. We need heat capacity, density. So that's such things you can punch in. You can have an accurate catalog where you could punch in proper information. But this is, like I said, standard from Sutro, the partnership with ArchiCAD, with EcoDesigner. And then, yeah, I think that's basically it. I wanted to show you guys where you could punch in your materials. But those materials you can punch in at the library, remember, at the elements and attributes, and build the materials. That's where you can go play around with the materials as well, and then punching in the U values and stuff like that. This is where they come from. Load from catalog, you need to have quite information. That's why you need to collaborate with these guys, with the eco-designers, with the energy analysts. But this is what a basic introduction to that. You see those walls? You can play around with those walls. That's where the zones were helping. That's how the zones helped in terms of materials and defining thermal blocks of a room. This was importance of importance of using zones, of which you can be accurate. You have to be accurate, and you have to make sure you're accurate. That's basically the importance of building information modeling. You need to visualize your process. You need to visualize, everything. Information is visualized, guys. All right. Anyway, I've finished with structures of. You could go to windows as well, doors. You can define if a door has its own, there it is. You see the door. You see that door. Open analysis, testings. Having windows. You can, if the window is strong in terms of penetration or infiltration, you could add, let's say these are aluminum windows, you can come and punch in specific data from manufacturers of the windows, the occupancy, U value, glazing U value, first things. If they give you information like that, that's how you could have an accurate energy simulation with accurate proper information from as consultants. All right. So now we found out how to punch in our U values, transmissions, and the shading we've defined. Like I said, we are going back to one last thing that we skipped, one last stage that we skipped, which was building systems of the zones here. Right. So what is the district heating of your of the areas of your house where the situation is where the site is situated, right? So we include hot water heating. Already we defined MAPs, right? So there is hot water energy heating included. What's the energy source? It's electricity. Energy source of this heating, of this water is electricity. Yes, in the house is electricity. That's how you define this, right? And then for you to have an accurate energy simulation, guys, you need to go through all these things. Define. Service hot water, yes, you need to. And then assign a thermal block. assign a thermal block to a heating. So mostly the heating happens in the bathrooms, and then where the geyser is, where the hot water is mostly. You're going to assign the thermal blocks. Mostly there's bathrooms, kitchens, and and then suit assign thermal blocks in the kitchen. I don't know if this will work, guys, but I'm just showing. What else? Yeah. Okay. Well, is there a fireplace in the house? Yes, there's a fireplace. Where's the fireplace? Fireplace. Solar. Boiler furnace. No. Solar thermal. No. District. Yes, this fireplace. Boiler furnace. Yes. Energy source is wood. Fireplace. Right. So assign it to what? To the living room. Right. And then first thing, gun pipe, water heat pump. No, sometimes some things you don't have to specify, but some you can not yet specify. Some things not yet specified. You have solar panels, no, not yet specified. So I guess boiler, no, gas boiler, yeah. District cooling, is energy, electricity. We have a cooling thing, yeah. Rooftop, not have. So we're about to run the simulation, guys. We're about to run the simulation, the calculation engine. So let's wrap up here. Not specify standard AC, cooling machine, characteristics. Yes. You just play around. Make sure you punch in this information, guys. It's really important. That's really important. Not specified. Transfer. Not specified. Yeah, I think we are done. So we are about to run the performance now. Since we are done, we are about to run the performance, guys. We are about to run the performance, the simulation. We're about to run the simulation. So let's update zones one more time. Let's update the information one more time. Let's update it. And then we can start the simulation. There's TrueSoft. TrueSoft software will calculate the energy performance. And let's see what we'll extract. Let's start the simulation. The results will be displayed in a PDF, guys. The results are displayed and on the building energy balance evaluation report. It will provide a summary of key energy characteristics. It will provide a summary of a key. This is what we have. That's the report we have. This is the report we have so far. So what you can play around, with this, with the header. You can play around with this. You can attach your logo. You can apply your logo. YouTube channel. You can apply your logo. Okay. And then play around with it. Resolution. You can play around with it. What did I do? Okay. Okay. Let me say 20. Yes, I want it like this. This is a huge introduction, right? This is the logo. You can play around with it. So it's a detailed PDF, guys, displaying a thermal block level, output data, output data to behavior spaces, thermoblock key values, daily temperature profiles, energy consumption by sources. Remember those sources we put electricity, wood, and then there's the heating, and then there's a pie chart indicating all that. This will only be able to be read by energy specialist guys, of which if you collaborate with them, this is where you could export it to another specialty. But I'm saying this is just a brief introduction to energy analysis, energy performances with ArchiCAD. Remember this data, everything here is what it's just U values of building structures will be indicated in the PDF, carbon footprint, monthly energy balance, energy consumption by targets, heating, and then your monthly energy balance. Let's save it as a PDF. Where are you saving it? Energy simulation, and then working files, evaluation report, final evaluation report, final energy evaluation report. Okay, let's see if it's opened. Working files, final energy report. Here it is. In conclusion, I'd say with energy modeling, you will be able to have an estimate of the total energy consumption of a building and assess its potential energy savings. However, what exactly are the benefits of that? You need to know as architects, those are principal designs, that are principles you follow in terms of having a sustainable design. And with standards being tight, people are now aware of this energy simulations, aware of the softwares. And with regarding to software, which software you could use, this is not for us to say. We don't want you to get a bunch of hate mail. We don't have to. It's a package. Each package has its pros and cons. Sometimes the packages have a very good functionality but a poor interface. Like here, EcoDesigner has a really good functionality and very good interface. This is why I think we should learn it more and collaborate with people with energy specialists. This is just a brilliant interface, guys. This is really a brilliant interface. And then, so first things first, remember, for you to have this, you'd have to have a building location and geometry, building materials, general operation of the building, all of the data that you are going to import, that you imported. This is the data. System types, like your MEPs, how your water is being heated. And you need to be smart you need to be smart to do this. And it's a creative age, it's an age of information. Information is out there, guys. Let's be smart. And yeah, I think there's no excuse for us not to be doing energy analysis anymore, guys. Let's do energy evaluations. And I think we've come to the end of this video, guys. This was just an intro. I'll do a detailed course for you guys. And it's a very exciting feature that we are going to include in our MSBIM 2022 template, energy evaluations. And yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. Stay blessed, stay creative. Like always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.